Welcome everybody to a very, very different Hearts and Vines event, but it's 2020 and we've all pretty much grown accustomed to doing things differently this year. This is actually the first time in 27 years there's not been a live Hearts and Vines event in Southern Oregon. Every single year since 1993, the community has joined together to drink some great wine and raise money so places like the Dunn House, which shelters women and children fleeing domestic violence, can survive. Since it began, Hearts and Vines has raised and distributed nearly $3.4 million to community-based and family programs that focus on prevention, intervention, and ultimately the elimination of domestic violence. Without being able to have our normal event, this year has been a challenge to raise money that our local nonprofits rely on. Honestly, the timing couldn't be worse. The stress that COVID, distance learning for kids, the wildfires, and all the other terrible things that we've experienced this year have put domestic violence at an all-time high. The severity and frequency with which it's happening is staggering. What's worse, the people that usually report the violence, like teachers, coaches, and doctors, aren't able to because kids aren't going to school, they're not playing organized sports, and families aren't going to the doctor. I'm not trying to be a buzzkill here, but it's bad. It's really, really bad. That being said, hope is not lost. The Hearts and Vines Foundation had nearly $60,000 come in from our amazing sponsors. These sponsorships normally come with tickets or a table to the event, but obviously that didn't happen this year. These local companies didn't care. They kept their sponsorship money with the foundation. A huge thank you to the generosity of these amazing local businesses. There's a list of them on our website, and maybe check it out and consider these companies when deciding who you're going to be doing business with in the future. That sponsorship money and the money we raise with our online wine auction starting November 13th can and will be the difference for so many victims. As you're about to see, the collection of wine that was so generously donated for this event is some of the best we've ever had. And let's be honest, right now we could all use some great wine. And now, more than ever, Hearts and Vines needs your support. Now here's News 10's Trish Glose, who will be presenting our top 20 lines. For all the wines that'll be sold during the auction, go to heartsandvines.com.
Thank you, Brian. I'm Trish Glose, and here is a sample of the wines available for this year's auction. Lot number 301, a collection of sparkling wines from Frank Family Vineyards of Calistoga, California in Napa Valley. This wonderful lot includes Frank Family Vineyard Bubbles, 2014 Blanc de Blanc, a 2015 Brut Rosé, and 2015 Rouge. In the Carneros region of California, you will find where Frank Family Vineyard harvests their Chardonnay and Pinot Noir grapes to make these three spectacular sparkling wines. All their sparkling wines are made using the traditional method champenois, whereby the secondary fermentation occurs in the bottle. Buyers can expect effervescent bubbles, bright fruit flavors, excellent minerality, and creamy nuances. A perfect pairing for the holidays. Lot number 302, Chardonnay collection from Aubert Wines of the Sonoma Coast, Carneros, and Napa Valley. Lot includes an Aubert Chardonnay 2018, 2018 Larry Hyde & Sons, and a 2018 Sugar Shack. These wines taste great now, but will reward the buyer willing to delay gratification and cellar the wine 10+ years. Here is your opportunity to bid on this 6-bottle collection from Mark Aubert, one of the top producers of California Chardonnay. His wines are made in the traditional Burgundian style, full-bodied and balanced with opulent fruit flavors. For the Aubert family, it's all about terroir, and this collection has examples from 3 of California's premier winemaking regions. Wine Spectator scores all 3 in the 90s. Lot number 307 from just up the road in Salem, Oregon, a Christum Vineyards 4-bottle collection. Eola Amity Hill Willamette Valley Pinot Noir. Included are a 2015 Louise Vineyard, 2015 Marjorie Vineyard, 2015 Eileen Vineyard, and a 2015 Jessie Vineyard. Christum Vineyards began a quarter of a century ago as a collaboration between an engineer and a biochemist who each possessed a deep-rooted admiration for the land, the natural winemaking process, and Pinot Noir. 25 years later, second-generation wine grower and owner Tom Jerry leads winemaker Steve Dorner and their tenured viticulture team in tending the estate vineyards and producing elegant, dynamic wines recognizable by their hallmark style of whole cluster fermentation by native yeast. Their winemaking philosophy begins with respect for the land and estate vines. Christum Vineyards is proud to be certified sustainable by Low Input Viticulture and Enology, both in their winery, which is run responsibly, and in their fields that are thoughtfully and meticulously farmed with a focus on quality. The 4 estate Pinot Noir vineyards, Eileen, Jessie, Louise, and Marjorie, named for Jerry family matriarchs, each possesses natural variances in soil, elevation, and exposition. With minimal intervention during the winemaking process, Tom, Steve, and team strive to craft wines that are an honest recording of both the vineyard and the wiltage, producing the ultimate expressions of the stellar fruit they feel fortunate enough to work with. Recognized globally as a leading producer in the beloved Willamette Valley, their wines continue to be a unique blend of tradition, modernity, and finesse. Lot number 309 from Paso Robles, California, Justin Vineyards and Winery Bordeaux Red Blend Collection. This is a vertical of Justin Isosceles 2008, 2009, and 2010. If you're familiar with wines from the Central Coast of California, Justin Isosceles, the flagship wine of Justin Vineyards and Winery, is well known. These full-bodied Bordeaux blends will be a great addition to your holiday dinner table. All 3 vintages in this vertical are multiple award winners. Lot number 314 from Silver Oak Cellars, located in the heart of California wine country, comes a 2014 Silver Oak Napa Valley Cabernet Sauvignon. Silver Oak Cellars simply focuses on one variety since 1972, producing wines that are fully developed with velvety, soft textures. This vintage has an alluring nose that has notes of black cherry, pipe tobacco, salted caramel, cocoa beans, and fresh strawberry. This full-bodied wine has velvety tannins and flavors of cream soda and deep red fruit. Drinkable now, but will age through 2040. Enjoy this alluring wine with a nose of chocolate-covered strawberries from the Napa Valley. Lot number 316, just a hop, skip, and jump away from Douro, Portugal, and the Kopke Winery comes a collection of port wines. This includes a 1990 Porto Kopke Colheita, a 10-year-old Porto Kopke, and a 2007 Porto Kopke. Produced on the northern coast of Portugal in the oldest port wine house, 1990 Porto Kopke Colheita is a 30-year-old single-vintage tawny port, aged in wood for at least 7 years, like all Colheita port. Delightful blend filled with ripe, dark vine fruits and spices on the nose. It's creamy and rich on the palate, with huge raisin juiciness and sweetness. This mellow port adds pleasing warmth and light spice on the finish. 10 Porto Kopke Colheita Tawny Port, scoring 91 points from Wine Spectator, is honey-colored with deep ambrosial flavors and mouth-filling richness, made by blending wines of different harvests to achieve an array of sensory qualities defined by the characteristics given by the nature wood. 2007 Port Kopke, a rich and warming port produced in the traditional style on the northern coast of Portugal, aged in wood, giving it a nutty, oxidized character. This dessert wine is rich and warming, pairing well with chocolate and caramel, perfectly balanced and luscious. Pair it with a thick, well-marbled ribeye. Lot number 318, coming all the way from Tuscany, Italy, is a Tuscan red blend from the Tenuta de Trenorio Winery, a 2003 Tenuta di Trenorio Rosso Toscana. Of all his wines, the flagship Tenuta de Trenorio provides the greatest insight into Andrea Franchetti's winemaking. Bold and structured, receiving 90 points from Wine Spectator, this bottle of Super Tuscan showcases the distinct terroir and grapes from this remote estate at the furthest confines of viticulture in Tuscany. Lot number 326 for the racing enthusiast and everyone is this classic racing series gift box from the Adobe Road Winery in Sonoma County. This red blend collection includes Redline, Shift, the 24, and Apex. In a class of its own, the Racing Series wines by Adobe Road are comprised of 4 ultra-premium California red blends inspired by moments on the racetrack: Redline, Shift, the 24, and Apex, all packaged in a special gift box. Lot number 328, available only to members of their mailing list, which is currently full, comes a gift box from No Girls Wines in Walla Walla, Washington. The varietals from the La Paciencia Vineyard include a 2013 No Girls Cayuse La Paciencia Vineyard Grenache, 2013 No Girls Cayuse La Paciencia Vineyard Syrah, and a 2013 No Girls Cayuse La Paciencia Tempranillo. No Girls, this distinct wine gift box set features 3 food-friendly varietals from the La Paciencia Vineyard, wines from the collaboration between Cayuse Vineyard's owner and Vigneron Christophe Baron and general manager Trevor Dorland, has earned routinely high accolades. This unique label comes from a photograph from a downtown bordello in Walla Walla. Decades-old inscriptions signaled that the house of ill repute had been finally shut down and the Wild West era in Walla Walla had unofficially ended. Lot number 340, another entry from Sonoma Coast, is this 2015 Ernest Vineyard Chardonnay, the Bombardier. Who doesn't love a fantastic wine with a memorable label and a great story? Check out this Sonoma Coast 2015 Black Emerald Vineyard Chardonnay, the Bombardier. Todd Gotula's grandpa, Ern, proudly served during World War II. His job, Bombardier in the U.S. Air Force. With the Bombardier, we honor all who took on responsibilities and jobs during that time. We take inspiration from the many walks of life that followed. The history of this vineyard runs deep at the 17-acre vineyard on Vine Hill Road in the heart of the Russian River Valley. Back in the 1960s, Sonoma County legend Duff Bevel planted the parcel to the old Clone 4 of Chardonnay. These grapes still grow today, though now the owners are Dennis and Mary Black, and the land is called Black Emerald Vineyard. Because this vineyard is dry farmed, raising the canopy away from the heat of the ground during the day helps moderate the cluster temperature at night. This strategy also helps keep clusters dry. This wine has decadent aromas of sweet pears, melons, and candied apples precede a balanced acidity akin to pineapple that freshens the notes of orange marmalade, ripe citrus, and tree fruits on the palate. Sweet and sour tones are met in measure with a light caramel beeswax texture and bright notes of Meyer lemon and ripe apples on the finish. Lot number 343 from locally here in Medford, Oregon, giving a shout out to Rogue Valley Wines, comes a case of varied wines from the Peter Williams Vineyard. Do you need to restock your wine cellar? Here's your opportunity to buy a case of some of the best wines available in the Rogue Valley. Dr. Peter Addisman, gastroenterologist and local wine connoisseur, has ventured into the wine business with Peter William Vineyard. This mixed case includes his 2018 vintages of Grenache, Robin's Red, a red blend, Pedro Guillermo Tempranillo, Chardonnay, GSM, and Syrah. Some of these gems have yet to be released to the public. We can't wait until Peter William Vineyard's new tasting room opens. Lot number 345, good day from the land down under, called one of Australia's greatest wines, is this 2008 Clarendon Hills Australia Shiraz. This special selection derives from the McLaren Vale wine region in South Australia. Clarendon was selected as a base because a significant number of old vineyards. Clarendon Hills is a vineyard that is dedicated to single vineyard terroir wines that rival the best in the world. This special blend has notes of blackberry jam and caramel on the nose. On the palate, blackberry, black cherry, and plum, with notes of tobacco, white pepper, and earthy spices, with moderate tannins and strong acidity on the medium to long finish. Although this is heavily extracted, it's well balanced and not as jammy as other wines of the kind. Lot number 345, heading back across the pond, but only this time to Bordeaux, France, is this 2009 Chateau Riosec Sauternes. This dessert wine is lush and balanced, best paired with blue cheeses. Made from Semillon and Sauvignon Blanc with the Bordeaux region in France, this bottle delivers a ripe nose combining a floral dimension and exotic fruit, yielding to a generous palate. Robert Parker, wine advocate, scored this gem with 98 points. If you're a wine and food pairing fanatic, then this is the bottle for you. Lot number 349, sold only to their carefully managed mailing list, comes this entry from California, a 2013 Sine Qua Non Male California Syrah. Definition of sine qua non is something absolutely indispensable or essential, so with a label like that, it makes sense that this wine has become the most sought-after Syrah in the United States of America. This producer crafts wines that speak to the heart and the mind, as well as being flavorful, graceful, and balanced. The brand has become a cult favorite since its beginnings, and with such limited production that the laws of supply and demand reign over availability. Out of California's sunshine and the heat of its central coast, this wine is not for the meek. Time to show off your bravery if you want this big boy. Lot number 352, all the way from Spain, is this exceptional Tempranillo vertical from Pago de Caravejas. The lot includes a 2009 and a 2010 Pago de Caravejas El Anejón de la Cuesta de las Liebres. This special vertical is from the town of Penafiel in the hillsides of Caravejas. Penafiel has been historically the hub of the Ribera del Duero winemaking region and the area with more potential of all the Spanish winemaking regions in the sunny enclave formed by the valleys of the Botijas River. Tributary of the Duero River, this land enjoys a microclimate created by the sweetening influence of the Duero River. This wine has been aged 12 months in barrels made from French oak grown in the central region of France, specially selected for its fine-grained wood. A complex and suggestive nose, red fruit, and lactic and toasted notes, powerful and elegant, well-structured and balanced. Lot number 354, next is this Barolo from La Spinetta in Piedmont, Italy. Choose this 2013 La Spinetta Barolo. The story of this winery dates back to the late 1800s. Rivetti family story begins in the 1890s when Giovanni Rivetti left Piedmont for Argentina. Like many Italians then, he dreamed of returning a rich man, perhaps even one day able to make great wine in his homeland. He never did, though his son, Giuseppe Pin, did. Pin married Lydia, bought vineyards, and began to make wine. In 1977, the family took up residence at La Spinetta, top of the hill, in Castagnole Lanze. Responsible for some of the most elegant and age-worthy wines in the world, Nebbiolo, named for the ubiquitous autumnal fog called nebbia in Italian, is the star variety of northern Italy's Piedmont region. This 2013 La Spinetta Barolo, no exception, with lots of sweet tobacco leaves, rose petals, and dried strawberry character. Full body, velvety tannins, and a fruity, smoky, and light earth finish, dense and unique. Ideal with grilled food, sauced and roasted red meat, and wild game. Lot number 356, heading back to Bordeaux, France, comes this Bordeaux vertical from the Chateau Canon winery. This lot includes a 2006, 2011, and a 2015 Chateau Canon Superstar Premier Grand Cru. This outstanding vertical comes from the Chateau Canon, originally Clos Saint Martin. This is a Bordeaux wine from the Saint-Emilion appellation, ranked among the Premier's Grand Cru Classes B in the classification of Saint-Emilion wine. The winery is located just southwest of the old town of Saint-Emilion, with the commune of the same name closely neighboring the estates such as Chateau Magdalen, Chateau Gaffelier, and Chateau Aussonnier, and has since the early 20th century has been considered one of the top Saint-Emilions. Chateau Canon is a stylish Bordeaux wine with a real sensation of minerality, ripe dark berries, licorice, and spicy scents, coupled with an opulent personality. It's a wine for consumers with patience. That's because Chateau Canon often takes at least 10 to 15 or more years before it's open and ready to drink. While there have been numerous great vintages made at Chateau Canon over the years, 2015 Canon is clearly the best wine ever produced in the history of the property. The grapes of this vineyard of Chateau Canon are planted to 70% Merlot and 30% Cabernet Franc. These wines boast of truffle, flowers, smoke, licorice, wet earth, dark plums, and black cherry aromas reach your nose as soon as the wine hits the glass. Full-bodied, sensuous, and silky, the wine is deeply concentrated and also effortless to drink. The finish lingers for close to 60 seconds. They are future legends in the making. Lot number 359, with another shout-out to a local Southern Oregon Rogue Valley winery, Irvine and Roberts Vineyards, comes this 2017 Irvine and Roberts Pinot Noir Selections 777, Elevation Block, Clandestine, and Block 115. Irvine and Roberts believes great wines come from great soil, so they strive to be conscientious stewards of the land, protecting our vineyard soils through practices that are certified sustainable by Live and Salmon Safe. The winery admits to being obsessive with their grape growing practices to ensure quality in the vineyard, keeping grape yields low and production limited to ensure the optimal health of the vine, allowing them to produce exceptional Pinot Noir and Chardonnay with elegance and balance. In 1997, Doug and Dion Irvine returned to their roots in Oregon with the desire to raise their daughters in the same place that they had such fond childhood memories. Choosing Ashland, they soon discovered that the 80-acre ranch they would call home turned out to be an incredibly unique vineyard site. The first vines were planted in 2007, and the journey continued from there when Doug's sister and brother-in-law, Kelly and Dwayne Roberts, joined Doug and Dion and created Irvine and Roberts Vineyards. Don't miss out on this collection of Pinot Noir from Irvine and Roberts. Lot number 361, calling again to all Bordeaux lovers from various wineries in Bordeaux, France, is this exceptional 2005 Bordeaux collection. Included are a 2005 Chateau Clos Forte Saint-Emilion, a 2005 Chateau Gracia Saint-Emilion, 2005 Chateau Haute-Bailly, Paysac Léognan, 2005 Chateau Las Combes Margaux, 2005 Chateau Muscat Saint-Exupéry Margaux, and a 2005 Chateau Sociano Malais Haute Medoc. Don't miss out on this stunning, genuinely luxurious collection of some of the finest Bordeaux wines for the discriminating buyer. From start to finish, the 2005 Bordeaux growing season was perfect. In fact, the 2005 vintage is one of the top contenders for one of the finest Bordeaux vintages in modern times. 2005 Clos Forte is a powerhouse that does everything right and is borderline perfection in a glass. Awesome notes of black currants, black cherries, graphite, tobacco, and scorched earth. 2005 Chateau Gracia Saint-Emilion is a wine pushing for perfection. Notes of blueberry and blackberry dominate, but also underlying the fruit is a strong core of minerality and flowers. 2005 Haute-Bailly is dense purple with loads of graphite, earth, spice, blackberry, and blueberry fruit, beautiful balance, medium to full body, and stunning purity, texture, and length. 2005 Chateau Las Combes Margaux is well-filled, impeccably balanced wine, starting with aromas of cherries, sweet berries, tobacco leaves, rose petals, vanilla bean, oak, and black walnuts. Chateau Muscat Saint-Exupéry Margaux exhibits blackberry, mineral currant, and dark chocolate, full and velvety with lots of fruit and chewy tannins. Finally, the 2005 Chateau Sociano Malais Haute Medoc has a very well-defined bouquet of red currant, cranberry, and wild strawberry fruit. Pressed white flowers emerge later, along with a hint of truffle. Lot number 362. Last but certainly not least is this special vertical 2007, 2008, and 2009 Hearts and Vines Grand Cuvée. These red blends from various area Rogue Valley wineries. A one-of-a-kind, unique, and memorable lot. 3 vertical vintages, 2007, 2008, and 2009, of Grand Cuvées bottled exclusively for the Hearts and Vines Foundation charity auction. These are the result of a very special collaboration between 4 distinguished Rogue Valley wineries. Winemakers from Del Rio Vineyards, Troon Vineyard, Valley View Vineyard, and Wooldridge Creek Vineyard each contributed a portion of their finest barrels to create this limited, proprietary red exclusively for the Hearts and Vines Gala. These uniquely crafted Grand Cuvées are a rich, graceful blend of Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, Malbec, and Cabernet Franc, exhibiting plush layers of plum, currant, and toasty oak with ripe, supple tannins, culminating in a long, elegant finish. Enjoy this rare treat with close friends and family, knowing it supports a critical cause for victims of domestic violence. All proceeds of this sale of this lot will go directly to the genesis of Hearts and Vines, the Dunn House Shelter.
See, I wasn't lying when I said the collection of wine donated this year is some of the best we've seen in the last 27 years. Remember, these are just the top 20 lots. There's actually a lot more great wine we didn't even have time to talk about in this video. The online auction starts November 13th, and 100% of the money goes directly to the Hearts and Vines Foundation. This is our last chance. Together, let's raise the money necessary to help our community battle a domestic violence problem that is as bad as it's ever been. Let's be honest, 2020's kind of stunk, but maybe some great wine will help it stink a little bit less. Maybe you need it for Thanksgiving, maybe you need it for Christmas, maybe you just need to celebrate the fact that 2020 is almost behind us. Whatever the reason to buy wine, there are so many more reasons why families in this valley who are dealing with domestic violence need us. So please, join us November 13th for our first, and hopefully last, online wine auction. We'll see you then, and we'll see you on June 19th, 2021 at the beautiful Hummingbird Estate Winery for a live Hearts and Vines event. I can't wait.